Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for the second episode of 24, Live Another Day. This episode for me, I liked the first one. I thought it was really intense. This one was still great, but it was not as good as the first one. Except for the twist at the end, which I love the twist at the end. The twist at the end was great. But let's just get to this episode. So, this one took place at 12 o'clock, and we see that the London Eye circling. Chloe walks the busy streets, Triag is underway at the CIA facility, and Kate speaks to Jordan. They give her Chloe's effects that special activists took from her, and Dean says they haven't done much with it, and says the local police procedures are slow. She says she has her own methods, and Kate calls Ken, a local London officer on the CIA payroll, and she tells him she needs some info on some stolen cell phones. She wants other phone numbers from the batch and tells him he has 20 minutes. Eric asks why Kate is there. Navarro says he reactivated her. Eric tells him he can't expect him to work with her because of her blindness about her husband. And Navarro tells him he expects him to follow orders. So, Chloe ducks through a fence in an abandoned building and heads inside. She trudges up the stairs, down the graffiti-ridden hall. She finds a security paid and keys in a number. And she goes in and is greeted by some of her hacker cronies. They ask what happened and they tell her she looks terrible. They hug her, and the obvious leader, Adrian, says it's been 3 days and that's where she's been. That is true. I heard Chloe used to look extremely different, and now she does not look as good. I don't know what she used to look like. I'll have to look it up, but whatever, Chloe's definitely gone through some hard times. You can definitely see. She says she was locked in a CIA black site. We know that she was tortured, so I mean, that makes sense why she looks so bad. She says they grabbed her when she was making a supply run. He asked if they just let her go, and she says a guy she used to work with broke her out and told her to get somewhere else. And, of course, that was Jack. And Adrian tells everyone to shut it down. They have to move. Chloe says Jack is her friend, but then he busts in with Belchak, both with guns, and she asks Jack what he's doing. It kind of seems like Belchak, in this episode, Jack seems like he was replacing Chloe with Belchak, and Chloe kind of gets upset at this. So, Jack asks which one is Derek Yates. Adrian says he doesn't work with him anymore, says it was a clash of styles. Jack tells Adrian he's going to help him find him and says he has no choice. Jack kicks him, puts a gun to his head. Chloe begs him to stop, says she'll help. She asks why he's looking for Yates, and she says she needs to know so she can try and find him. So Jack says that he got intel about an assassination attempt on the president, and he tracked it back to Yates. Adrian tells him that he's caught Yates hacking into military weapon systems, that he got greedy, and he says that's why he told him he had to go. He says their group is about finding and disseminating information, not taking direct action. Jack tells Chloe to get started and says he doesn't want to be there any longer than he needs to be. Chloe, gives Peter and Chell assignments to track facial recognition and security to track Yates down. Adrian walks away. Jack keeps an eye on him as he goes to his private office. And Chloe tells Jack that she's his friend and he should have just asked for help. All the hackers get to work. Some thugs are packing up bags. And drugs and counting cash at their drug operation. So he asks the leader why he puts up with that hacker loser, and the head guy tells him to mind his business. This guy looks like the one that took over the drone. So then we see his girlfriend, very, very important in this episode. She comes to sit on the hacker's lap, tries to make out with him, and he tells her he's working, and she asks why they can't go to a nice hotel. She says the men out there are scary, and he says the scary men are protecting them. He gets a call from this girl named Margot, and she looks at the drone footage and asks if the Americans know. He says no, and she tells him he's clever. She asks if they're on schedule, and he says that they are on schedule. And she asks even with the modification she requested, and he says it's almost done. So the Russian girl is getting very pouty. Margot asks if someone else is there, but he says it's the TV. She asks if he's told anyone about the device, and he says no. So she says she'll be at the arranged place with the money, and tells him not to keep her waiting. It's then 12:10, and Tanner is held in the hangar, and explains what happened to Captain DeNovo. He says the system stopped responding and the missiles armed themselves. DeNovo asks how he can believe that someone else took over the missiles and shot Ed Shepard right after he revoked his weekend pass. He also shows Tanner an online post they found him threatening Shepard. He tells DeNovo to check his keystroke log, and he says he did, and it confirms that he did it. So Tanner says they're missing something that would clear him. He insists he didn't do it. Guess all that was the evidence the hacker said he planned to make him the fall guy. So Mark gets a call from Navarro, who tells him that Jack escaped. He says Jack came to London to break out an associate, and Navarro says he thinks that's why Jack was in London, not anything to do with the president. So Chloe asks Jack why he's hanging with Belchak, because, again, she's very worried that he is replacing Belchak with Chloe. So she's asking, why are you hanging out with Belchak, who, by the way, is a Serbian mobster. And she asks if he thinks after he saves the president that he can go back to his life. And he says he knows he can never go back, but say this isn't about Heller. And Chloe asks why he has to do this, and Jack says he owes him and his family. And Chloe asks if he's talking about Audrey and tells him they are part of the system that screwed her and Jack. And he tells her that her hacking is not the answer, and she tells him he doesn't get to judge her after what she has been through. Because, she has been tortured. We can definitely see she's gone through a very rough time. She's been tortured and everything, so clearly, clearly she's not taking any shit from Jack, clearly. She's like, I'm not taking any shit from you. Can't you see what I've been through? You cannot just blame this whole thing on yourself. You can't play the victim card here, because I'm going through a hard time too. The hackers are watching the drone incident on the news, and they tell him that someone took over the drone, and they tell Jack that was the same system that Yates was hacking into. Jack theorized that the drone attack was a dry run, and he may be using the drones to target the president. Adrian comes out, tells him that Yates is hiding with a heroin dealer named Bashir, and he gives him the address. Jack thanks him, and Adrian says he can thank him by leaving. So Chloe says he can't go in blind, and tells him she'll provide comm support. She tells Adrian that if they help him get Yates, this will be over and they'll leave him alone. She orders the other supposed security feeds from where Jack is going. She pulls out a burner phone from a box, looks like the stolen ones, and Chloe and Jack are in a van heading to find Yates. Heller tells Mark he wants to speak to Parliament about the incident. Mark says it's not a good idea because they are already being accused of a cover-up. And Heller tells Mark he's going to apologize to them, but tell them that they have to understand how it protects us. And then Yates, the hacker, works on his device and watches the news about the drone incident. So his girlfriend asks if he feels bad about it, and he says that those that died were already dead and just didn't know it. He tells her the American president is going to die today on foreign soil by a drone, and says the world is going to end, and the two of them will sit it out in Greenland. So he tells her Greenland is perfect because the economy doesn't depend on the subjugation of others. He tells her he has to deliver the device in 28 minutes, and says he can't be late. So Jordan says they found the vehicle abandoned, but no Jack. Kate comes in and says her source found the phones, and it may be him and Chloe. She tells them they are at a housing project. She says she can't promise he's there, but says that it's their only lead. Jack and Chloe pull up to the project. She tells them which building it's in. And here, it just gets really intense, because he specifies passionately, his daughter's proud, Heller's practicing a speech, and Heller says 3 instead of 4 victims. He asks if Heller can name the British soldier killed in the attack, the 4th guy, and Jack then spots a guy leaning against a wall looking dangerous, and here it gets awesome here, because he and Chloe wonder which flat he's in. Chloe asks if he can cut off camera feed, and she says someone will notice. She does it, and in the drug den, the money counter tells Mick that the camera's messed up. He checks the computer, but it doesn't come back up. The camera comes back, and they see their guy dangling by his neck by the flagpole, and basically Yates runs into Kate. She shows him a photo of Jack. He tells her he's inside and is crazy. Kate and the others head in. They get the drop on Jack, who begs them not to let Yates go. He tells Kate that she needs to listen to stop the couple. They don't. Jack is shot in the arm from a higher-up angle. The agents and Jack are taking fire from Basher, who is holding his sliced neck and taking pot shots. This gives Jack the chance to get away, and he runs down the stairs. So Jack then tells her that he's trying to stop an attack on President Heller, and she's getting in his way. So Kate struggles and tells her that was a mistake. He climbs out through a small window. A car screeches up to him, and it's Chloe. She stole a car, and he congratulates her. He drives while she looks over the flash drive he stole, and she tells him that the system can take over as many as 10 drones. So Chloe says it's enough evidence to take to the authorities, but then the files start to fail because Yates put a self-destruct in. She shuts it down, but only has one piece of evidence left. Jack says Yates has a device, and they now have to find him. So it seemed like Yates was going to be the big villain here, and that's who they were going to take down. But then we get to the end of the episode, which I loved. I loved the end of the episode. I thought the end of the episode was probably the best part of out of the 2 episodes. This was probably my favorite part out of the first 2 episodes. So Yates and his girlfriend, they're sitting in a pub, and he tells her that his work is done and he needs to find a new buyer. He thinks Margot sent the guy to kill him and steal the device instead of paying him. He tells her they would still need to clean up. He goes to the bathroom, takes a little device with him. He goes right to he's in the bathroom, and there is his girlfriend. And basically, he tells her she's unbelievable. She tells him she wants to have sex with him, basically. And, he doesn't see as she pulls out a knife and jams it into his ear. He collapses dead to the floor, and she takes the device, walks out the back door. She pulls off her color contacts, wig, and basically, she stabbed him in the knife. So, she stabbed him in the ear with a knife, and that was just really, really surprising right there when that happened. Because I was just like, holy shit, this girl cannot be trusted. Because she takes off her color it turns out she has color contacts, a wig, and then she makes a call, and her accent is gone. And she calls Margot, and she says she has a device, but an American came after them. She says she barely got away, doesn't know who he was. She tells her that Yates thought she sent the guy, and was talking about finding another buyer. Margot asks if she took care of it, and she says she did. And then she says, Mommy loves you. So yes, Margot is her mother. So obviously, Margot and this girl, they're not to be trusted. Definitely not going to be trusted, and I love that at the end of the episode. So yeah, that was the second episode, and it was a little bit, I mean, the first episode was great. The second episode was fantastic, too. What I love about the second episode was that ending. The ending was the best part of the episode. As far as Jack and Chloe, it seems like they're sort of losing chemistry because Jack is replacing Chloe with this new guy, and I'm wondering what's going to happen there, why they're losing chemistry, it just seems like Jack is sort of not giving a shit about Chloe, and, but Chloe's not taking shit from Jack, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Now they know Yates is dead, what's going to happen there? They're probably going to think their whole thing is over, but now they know that, but they probably have no idea about this girl, who is probably going to end up being the main villain of the season, and I cannot wait to see what she does, but I loved these first 2 episodes. I love where 24 is going. Also, the other thing I forgot to say in my first episode was I love the way that I love the stunts in this show. The action is always high. By the way, does Kiefer Sutherland do his own stunts? Because he really seems like he does. He does a great job with the stunts, definitely, and I love that. So that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for the Bates Motel season finale. So I'll see you guys for that. Bye.